Let's be honest, gaming changed the world. It brought people together across borders. It told stories that touched hearts. It gave lonely kids a sense of belonging, a place to escape. But somewhere along the way, the game changed. It became less about meaning and more about money, less about creativity and more about control, less about the player and more about the profit. So today, I want to talk about what I'd fix in the gaming industry. Not because I hate it, but because I love it enough to want better. Before we jump into today's video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment down below. Your support helps me massively, and together, we're building something that can truly change lives. Let's grow this movement. One like, one comment, and one soul at a time. Now let's get into it. Let's start with the real elephant in the room. Gaming is being built like a casino. Loot boxes, daily logins, endless dopamine loops. Microtransactions disguised as choice. It's not designed to be fun anymore. It's designed to be compulsive. And when something is no longer about joy, but about control, that's a problem. If I could fix one thing, it would be this. Make games about experience again, not manipulation. Let's be real. Some of y'all paid $70 for a game and still got hit with in-game ads, battle passes, and paywalls. They call it live service. I call it live draining. You can't even enjoy the journey without being constantly asked to spend more. If I ran the industry, I'd bring back complete games at launch. No more selling people an unfinished story just to cash in later. Let the art breathe. Let the player trust. Another thing I'd fix? The online environment. Because let's be honest, multiplayer lobbies became war zones of hate speech, rage, and broken mics. Young kids are growing up thinking this toxicity is normal, because no one's cleaning up the space. Gaming should be a place of connection. But right now, it's full of division. If I ran the industry, I'd hold platforms accountable for the communities they're building. Moderation tools, consequences, empathy training. Because the game doesn't stop when the screen turns off. Those words stick. Here's another fix. Real representation. Not just throwing a token character in and checking a box, but actually showing different cultures, voices, and stories. With depth. I want to see black main characters not written like stereotypes. I want to see powerful women without making them hypersexualized. I want to see mental health explored without mockery. I want to see faith, family, culture, all of it, represented with heart. Because the industry reflects what it values. And right now, it's still too safe, too surface. Let's go deeper. This one hurts the most. Games targeting children with casino mechanics. They're too young to even understand how their brains are being wired. But the developers know exactly what they're doing. Bright colors, addictive sounds, endless level-up animations. If I ran the industry, there would be stricter age gating, clearer warnings, and actual parental control that works. Protect the kids. Period. Let's talk about the lack of originality. Everything's a sequel, a remake, a copy of a trend. We lost the hunger to innovate. The old-school devs were artists, risk-takers, visionaries. Today, it feels like corporations in a boardroom making safe choices. If I had the power, I'd create a space where indie creators got more shine, where new mechanics could thrive, where passion could win over profit. Bring back the soul of gaming. This one's for the devs, the people actually building the games, because the industry celebrates success, but hides the pain it took to get there. Crunch time, 80-hour weeks, burnout, no job security. They call it the dream job. But for many, it's a nightmare behind the scenes. If I could fix it, I'd normalize healthier timelines. Sustainable schedules, transparent leadership. You can't build powerful experiences if your people are emotionally destroyed doing it. Let's talk about the message behind the marketing. Gaming is great, but when companies start selling it like it's all you need, that's dangerous. They say live in this world, forget the real one. Be a hero here. Who cares about out there? That's not empowerment. That's isolation. If I had my say, games would remind you of your power, not replace it. You should leave a session feeling inspired, not empty. Statistics, wallets, but at the core, gamers are dreamers, explorers, fighters, thinkers. People want to be respected again. I'd create studios that listen, I'd bring in community voices to shape design. I'd build games with feedback loops that matter. Put the soul back in the system. The gaming industry isn't evil, but it's lost its way. And now, the players have to lead the way back. Support indie creators, speak up, set boundaries, create content that calls for change. Don't just consume, contribute. Because the future of gaming isn't in the hands of billion-dollar companies. It's in the hands of people who still care, people like you. You don't just play the game, you shape it. And the world will change when we stop accepting what's given and start building what's possible. Not all games are mindless. Not all games are just about escaping reality. Some games make you pause, reflect, doubt, learn, grow. And that's the kind of game I love. Not the ones that just keep your hands busy, but the ones that stir your soul. This video isn't about which games are better. It's about what certain games can do for your mind, how they can build it, challenge it, stretch it. Let's talk about it. Let's be honest. There are games you turn on just to shut your brain off. Click, repeat, win, restart. That's fine sometimes. But then there are games where every choice matters, where the story sits in your chest, where a line of dialogue hits harder than a lecture. Those are the ones I keep going back to, because I don't just want to play, I want to engage. The best thinkers don't just follow, they question. And there are games that force you to do that. Games where the bad guy isn't so bad, where your actions have consequences, where the moral path isn't clear, and you have to decide. I love those moments. When I stop and ask, wait, am I doing the right thing? Why do I feel guilty for winning? Would I make this choice in real life? That's not just entertainment, that's education. I love puzzles. Not just the ones with shapes, but the ones that make me solve people. Games that ask you to read between the lines. Games that don't hand you the answer. You have to find it, earn it. You don't just memorize patterns. You learn how to think. Critical thinking, strategy, observation, patience. Some games train the mind better than school ever did. Some games feel like a digital lecture on life itself. They don't shout the answers, they whisper questions. And suddenly you're sitting in silence after the credits roll thinking, do I really know what freedom is? Is justice ever simple? What does it mean to be alive? What's the cost of power? Games that make you ask those questions. Those are sacred because they don't just entertain your mind, they open it. You ever play a game and see yourself in the main character? They're flawed, conflicted, trying to change, trying to do the right thing but still making mistakes. That's me. That's you. I love when games don't give us perfect heroes, but real ones. Because watching a character grow, that inspires you to grow. You realize healing is messy, growth is painful, and no, you're not the only one learning as you go. Games that let you choose your path, they're more than just fun, they're preparation. Because real life is full of choices, big and small, right and wrong, safe and bold. And in these games, you learn something critical. Your choices affect the world around you. People remember what you did, what you didn't do, what you said, who you hurt, who you helped. It's a reminder you have power. Use it wisely. Final thoughts. I love games that make me think because they remind me that growth can be fun, that learning doesn't have to be boring, that depth is still out there, even in digital worlds. And most of all, because they prove that you don't have to escape your mind. You can strengthen it. You can walk away from the screen more awake, not less. More prepared, more aware, more you. This is seeing unlimited greatness. And this is your reminder. The best games don't just keep you playing, they keep you thinking. They make you question, grow, and see the world in a new way. They're not just entertainment, they're evolution. So play smarter, live deeper, and never stop learning. If you'd like to support the channel and help us keep pushing forward, there are links in the description where you can donate. Every contribution helps us reach more people, do more good, and keep this mission alive. There's also a store down below where you can grab something for yourself, or even better, a gift for someone you care about. It's a simple way to spread love and let someone know they matter. We're all just trying to grow. to become better, to rise above the noise and step into who we're really meant to be. And I truly believe change is possible, the kind of change that creates a ripple effect and helps others see the beauty still left in this world. This channel is about real growth, real transformation, and I'm here to give you a front row seat to what that looks like. Raw, honest, and grounded in purpose. God is within all of us, and my goal is simple: to reflect that light as clearly and powerfully as I can for you and for the world around us.